seat. Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1719 in California for you every morning for that many days in a row so far. Sequentially, I haven't missed a single day of Morsels of a Thought, of wisdom. Hopefully, that we learn the right things to do for ourselves and the world. When we know the right things to do, it's a form of wisdom we've got. And when we actually do them, the action creates virtue. Virtue. And when you're a married woman, we do TR Tuesdays and TR Thursdays. We are in the rules for marriage, time-tested secrets for making your marriage work. Now, rule number 19 says, don't ask your single friends for marital advice. You see, like, for example, I'm single and I have a friend and I say, oh, yeah, him, don't even, but they're married. So there's nothing I can say that I'm not married. So get advice from married rules women. In fact, even single women ought to get rules advice from married rules women. You can have all the buddies in the world, but if they're not married, their advice does not apply to you. It can't, unless they have been married and been through that before. Uh, anyway, don't ask your single friends for marital advice. Remember the old grade school retort, it takes one to know one? Well, it's absolutely true. So, when you absolutely have to vent about your husband or need marital advice, call a married girlfriend instead of a single one. No matter how smart or well-meaning your single friend is, you will get more effective advice and understanding from your married friends. The problem with single friends is that they tend to have one of two perspectives. They either romanticize marriage or they disdain it. The single friends who romanticize marriage don't realize that fighting is a normal part of life, that it is possible to have the most hateful thoughts toward the person you love the most, your spouse. They want to believe that marriage is like a perfume commercial. When you tell them about your fights, they can make you feel that you have marital problems. They might sound shocked by your anger or recommend marriage counseling. You want to say, no, really, it's not a big deal. We kiss and make up all the time. I'm just venting, but they will never understand until they are married. Often these friends are so eager to get married that they can't imagine having a problem with Mr. Right. They think you should be walking on air 24 hours a day. If you call this type of single friend to complain about your husband, she'll show no sympathy. Oh, leave him alone. You should consider yourself lucky to be married. I haven't had a good date in years now. All the good guys are taken. I'll trade places with you any day. You can try to explain to your friend that, yes, you're grateful to be married, but being married isn't always perfect or easy. You may try to explain that you can't walk around like a Barbie doll every day just because you're married. And that even though you love your husband, he is a control freak. But it's no use. She doesn't get it. She also might resent it that you're bothering her with your petty issues when she doesn't even have a Saturday night date, and her irritability may come out in her answer. If you called a married girlfriend and complained about the same thing, she'd laugh and say, I know. I told Dave 100 times to stop being so bossy, to save it for the office. You feel understood. You get perspective. The other type of single friend, typically the type who disdains marriage, thinks you can say or do no wrong and that you should fight for your rights. He never helps around the house. He never helps you around the house. I don't think you should put up with that. I certainly wouldn't if I were married. You do everything: shop, cook, clean. He could at least dry the dishes or something. I would make a list of chores for him to do. If he doesn't do them, well, then he can eat off the floor, she would say in a militant voice. As you listen to her droning on, you know why she's not married. Compromise, the key to a successful marriage, is not in her vocabulary. If she wants to see a comedy and you want to see a romantic movie, she'd go by herself rather than join you just for the company. She's a good friend. You just wouldn't want to be married to her. Your married friend would remind you that most husbands don't appreciate how much their wives do or think they know better, so why should yours be any different? She would also point out that the workload usually evens out in the end, so don't be a bean counter. After the call, you realize she's right and you don't feel like a victim. Let's face it, your married friends have the experience and understanding that even your nicest, wisest single friends don't. I attest to that. Ying says, yeah, that's true. The authors say they know that marriage is about compromise and making things work, that it's gray, not black or white. Single women can be wonderful friends, but we suggest you leave them out of it when you and your husband are having the fight of the week. Not this one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so we are reading from The Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work. And I'm trying to find up can't find it. Can't find it. Where'd it go? Let him win. Rule number 9. Oh no, we read that one again. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind that one. Say what you mean, but don't say it meanly. Rule number 15. You don't always have to hit your husband over the head with a hammer to be heard. Sometimes you can get what you want by just asking or making your case nicely. Here are some suggestions. You want to say, when's the last time you gave me a back rub? Instead, say, I'd love a back rub. This is called speaking from the I. The letter I, and it works. You ask for what you need without calling him selfish. You get what you give. We are reading from The Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Capturing the Heart of... Sorry, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, the mavens for dating and married women relationships, for the kind of relationship where the man pursues the woman and he has a prize when he gets her. He pins her down for dates. He has to fight a little for her attention even when they're married. He has to fight a little for her time, a little bit. She's always in motion. That's the thing. She's always in motion, and she always ends the dates first when she's dating and single, and when she is with her husband, she can say what she means, but don't say it meanly. So we're hoping to get wisdom here. Or the authors say, you want to say, you look terrible in that orange shirt. Instead, say, I think your blue shirt really brings out your eyes. It's always good to look at the bright side of things. He will appreciate the compliment. Who likes to be told they don't look good in something? Your husband forgets to buy bread on his way home from work, even though you reminded him 3 times that day. Don't say, what a moron! How could you forget the bread? I guess I have to do everything around here myself. Say, next time, could you maybe write down bread on a post-it or email yourself so you don't forget? You don't like his haircut. Don't say, your ears are sticking out. You look ridiculous. Say, I know a great hair cutter. Your husband asks you to drive him to the airport for a business trip. Don't say, I'm not your chauffeur. Say, I really would if I could, but I have appointments all morning. How about if I call a cab? Your husband thinks that the filet mignon is not tender enough. Don't say, if you don't like it, you can eat at a restaurant. Say, really? I like it this way, but I'll try not to cook yours as long next time. You get the idea. There's a nice way and a mean way of saying just about anything. So why do we choose the mean way more often than not? because we're frustrated, hurt, self-righteous, want to make a point, want revenge, or are just in a complete state of shock or disbelief at our husband's behavior and must let him know it. We want to beat him over the head with a sledgehammer, not a feather, so he hears us. Or we go to the other extreme and give him the silent treatment. Silent scorn. Both ways are extremely harmful to a relationship and can ruin an evening or a week or a month of your marriage. Remember, the last time you were sarcastic or mean or critical, did it get you anywhere? Probably not. The next and let me say something. When it does seem to get you somewhere, the guy is harboring thoughts of evil. Just, anger. But the authors say, the next time you're upset and want to say something mean, reread this chapter. Take a deep breath, calm down, and think of a nice way of saying the same thing. You can actually turn this into a game you can play with your friends. Tell them what you want to say and ask them to help you figure out what you're going to say instead. You may be thinking, but this is so silly. What difference will a few words make? Or you may think, this is not being true to my feelings. We know exactly how you feel. We have felt that way too. But we learned to look at it this way. We have a higher self and a lower self, which we refer to very much in the Rules Handbook, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships, which is their newest book. Anyway, authors say, but we learned to look at it this way. We have a higher self and a lower self. Telling the truth without consideration for another person's feelings is your lower self. There's an expression, truth without kindness is cruelty. Nobody, especially your husband, wants the so-called truth if the truth is you hate his clothes or wish he made more money. So the next time you're about to say something hurtful, pause and think of how you can soften the blow. We guarantee you will feel better about yourself, your husband will appreciate your kindness, and you may just get what you want after all. Ugh. Here are rules for fighting in rule number 14. Did you ever have a fight that began because he didn't change the toilet paper and suddenly you found yourself saying things like, I'm sorry I married you. I do everything around here. The place would fall apart without me. Before you know it, you're ranting about everything you can think of, every disappointment or every one of his screw ups, like the time he was a month late buying you a birthday present, the hotel room he forgot to reserve on your last vacation, how you always have to remind him to take out the garbage and pay the Visa bill. When you run out of material about him, you find fault with his best friend or his good-looking secretary. It's interesting how all the secretaries in your company are ex-models. Even the most loving couples have been known to fight like this, even though it's terribly damaging and gets them nowhere. Sometimes it takes days or weeks to recover from these fights, but invariably they're at it again. But it doesn't have to be that way. Since you're the one reading this book, not your husband, it's up to you to take the high road. Here are 10 rules to help to keep the warfare to a healthy minimum. Number 1, keep your fight to the subject at hand. In this case, quote, I would appreciate it if you could remember to replace the toilet paper, end quote. End of subject. Number 2, call it quits if either of you start to stray from the subject at hand. Number 3, don't attack his character. Don't say, you're such a slob, I'm always picking up after you. Just address the problem, not the person. Number 4, agree to disagree. What's a big deal to you, a perfect bathroom, isn't to him. Number 5, don't make threats. Maybe I should stay with my mother for a week and we'll see if the toilet paper ever gets changed or if anything else gets done around here. Before you know it, you're threatening to leave him for a week over toilet paper. Number 6, don't let yourself be provoked. If he says, why should I have to? What do you do all day anyway? How hard is it to change the toilet paper? Don't respond. Just leave the room. If you react angrily, he will think, there she goes again, getting mad over nothing. If you say nothing, he will probably apologize later for being mean or unfair. Don't be vengeful. Don't sleep in another room or ask him to that night because you're in a fight. You should only sleep in another room if he snores too loud or one of you has to wake up in the middle of the night for a business trip. I have to say, darn, I can't remember what I was going to say. Darn, 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 darn. Number 7, switch gears. Go for a walk or call a friend. We are reading from this book, Time Tested the Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work. And it's mostly for women because the women are the ones that want to have a rules marriage. And the rules marriage is one where the husband loves you more than life life itself. So, I got to make sure I turn to silent mode. Okay, and we're in Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom number 1719. Switch gears, go for a walk or call a friend is number 7. Number 8, think, what would I be doing if I weren't fighting with him? Go do it. Number 9, think loving thoughts. Number 10, think, how important is it? And move on. Better yet, the next time your husband doesn't change the toilet paper, change it yourself and don't say a word. Remember, there are plenty of things your husband does, taking out the garbage, refinancing the mortgage, paying the bills, having the car fixed, that he doesn't expect you to do or even tell you about. So let it go. Life is not fair. Don't be a bean counter, keeping score of everything you do versus what he does. Everything evens out in the end. Haven't you ever had a friend where one year it's all about her problems and the next year it's all about yours? Marriage is just like that. It all works out in the end. Okay. We're going to read something from the Rules Handbook, which is sitting here. There we go. Uh, Under the beans. I'm like a bean counter too. Okay. So practice the rules. Daily rules. Okay. I gotta get this thing off of it now. Shoot. Sorry. Okay. Practicing the rules. Your rules weekly pep talk is, are you ready to implement the rules into your life? This week, focus on dating. This is for single women by the rules as your top priority, not an afterthought. Don't squeeze in practicing the rules after playing pickleball, traveling, shopping, surfing your Instagram account, or fill in the blank with the many other excuses you can make to avoid practicing. It's been 2 months since you started reading and studying these weekly pep talks and daily lessons. We have confidence that you are ready to implement all you have learned on your dates. It's time to put yourself out there, and it's time to be all in. Women who wake up every 3 months or every year and decide to go on one dating app or date have little or nothing to show for it and are not following the rules. The rules are about consistency and persistence, not dabbling. Now that you know better, you can do better at putting yourself out into the dating world. Make dating a regular habit, like going to the gym. To begin, go out once a week and try to increase to 3 times a week. Try attending singles events and going to local clubs, restaurants, or friendly bars. Ask family and friends if they know anybody who might be a good match for you and have them set you up on a date. Don't give up and don't stop going out until you meet your quote person end quote and future marriage partner. This is how people do the interview thing. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Here. Oh, no, here. Okay. And in this part here, it says to apply the rules to achieve your higher self. When you go to a party or watch a movie, pretend you're a sociologist and look for the rules and non-rules behavior. Notice which women are flitting around the room versus being clingy. Copy the flitters, the rules girls. Don't read anything negative about courtship. It's alive and well for rules, girl. If you miss a guy and want to call him to hear his voice, call your mother. And then we have, where is it? Where is it? Come on. Here. Committing to yourself first. Your Rules Weekly Pep Talk here was, if you are reading this book, you are probably not the best at dating, have not found your lifelong partner, here, Ying raises her hand, or are struggling to deal with people in healthier ways in your personal and professional relationships. Da, da, da. Yes, we understand. Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider understand these things. They are the mavens, and they've been doing this for many years, and they are really, really smart. Okay, we understand, and our intention is to guide and cheer you on each day for the next 52 weeks. In this book, which I'm reading every day on Instagram, you may fantasize about romantic partners who don't initiate anything. I'm just waiting for them to ask me out on a date. You may pursue dates. Want to grab coffee with me after work? Or act too available and eager when you do get asked out. Love to. I'm free Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday after work and any time this weekend. Who knew not to be so transparent? If this sounds like you, the Rules Handbook is for you. Sometimes when you start dating, it seems easy because you're genuinely not interested in the person and they may not be your type. But then you do fall madly in love and suddenly you give your power away. You will lose your boundaries, become too casual, see the person all the time. If you do this, the chase that began will stop. Your date suddenly becomes distant or wants space. And in their original book, they said the romance turns to mud. Your date suddenly becomes distant or wants space. Ouch! Stop. Take a step back and relax. Reset. Reset. Stop focusing on the person you're dating and focus on nurturing and caring for yourself. For example, if you think, I should send them a text about a vegetarian restaurant because we talked about plant-based food on our last date. Don't. Do immediately switch your thoughts to, what can I do to motivate myself so I am fuller, fulfilled, and happier? And do that. Many of our clients complain that between work, the gym, friends, and family, they have no time to do anything else. So we ask them, why use your valuable energy to send texts, remind others you exist, or show how often you're thinking about them? You might think, I just want to be friendly and connect. No, if that person doesn't think about connecting with you, he might not be interested and you might get hurt. Let him chase you. Okay. Instead of texting or calling him, call your mom or BFF. Silence your phone and go to Pilates or for a walk. If you have dogs, take your dog out. Instead of confirming plans with him, make plans with yourself and get a mani-pedi. That's a good idea. Okay, so we're reading the Rules Handbook on Instagram every day. I'm on day 15 today, and we're going to go there in a second. Okay, so I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, old Kinderhut.